Hello viewers. In this video we are going to learn about new developments in copyright law. Let us see what are the new developments in copyright. While acknowledging that clothing is useful article and thus not subject to copyright protection. A New York federal court ruled that lace design, copyrighted as writing and incorporated into wedding dresses, were protectable and enjoined another maker of wedding dresses from making or marketing copies. Similarly, detailed embroideries or some other two-dimensional drawing or graphic work affixed to a portion of a garment may be copyrightable. So, from this point, what do we need to understand is first and foremost, clothing is not subject to the copyright. But however, lace design and some kind of wedding dresses were subject to the copyrights. People cannot make a copy of these particular designs and market them. And also some kind of embroidery works and designs on the t-shirts or some kind of graphics on the t-shirts are subject to the copyrights. A federal court in California recently held that while type fonts themselves are not protectable under copyright law, a software program that generated and created the typefaces was protectable. So when you're using some kind of word processor like Windows, Microsoft Word or Excel, while you're typing there will be many font faces such as Times New Roman, Comic Sans, MS, Courier. All these are types of font faces. So this font cannot be copyrightable. But however, a program that produces these font faces can be protectable as copyright. So program that generates faces of the font faces in the word processors is protectable, but not directly font faces directly copyrightable. Next. As soon as Stephen King sold his book Riding the Bullet exclusively in an internet format, an individual cracked the copyright protection software and posted free copies of the book on the internet. The publishers responded by the adopting stronger encryption technology. Similarly, in 2000, Mr. King suspended online publication of a serial novel because too many individuals were downloading the work without paying. So Stephen King is a very famous author, and in 2000 he faced an issue. What was the issue is when he published his book online, many people were downloading it without paying it. And before that, when he published a book online, somebody cracked his copyright and downloaded the book, but he did not stop there. He downloaded the book, made the online copies and kept them online everywhere, which is huge loss for the effective authors like Stephen King. In late 1997, President Clinton signed into law the No Electronic Theft, which means NET in short. So it called NET Act, amending 18 United States Code 2319 to enhance criminal penalties for copyright infringement. Even if the infringer does not profit from the transaction, the Act also extends the statutes of limitations for criminal copyright infringement from 3 to 5 years and allows law enforcement officers to use federal copyright law against online copyright violation, thereby extending the same copyright protection to the internet that is provided to other media. So, as per the act which is came in 1997, which is signed by Bill Clinton, it says that it's going to protect internet information as any other media. Copyright protects all the artistic work, right? So whatever the work is available through the online, the copyrights are going to protect that as well, as similar to that. And whoever try to copy the content from the internet, they'll get the imprisonment from 3 to 5 years. And what was the act that Bill Clinton signed on? That was NET, which means No Electronic Theft Act. In September 1999, the Clinton administration relaxed government restrictions on the export of encryption products and simultaneously introduced new legislation to give law enforcement agencies greater authority to combat the use of computers by terrorists and criminals and to create a new code cracking unit within the FBI, Foreign Bureau of Investigation. So in 1999 again they made some kind of government restrictions so that their FBI, which is called as Foreign Bureau of Investigation, can have some kind of access to the computers used by terrorists without relaxing some kind of restrictions. These forces cannot hack legally into others computers. In order to stop terrorist activities, a authority people should get into the others computers without their permission, because a terrorist never allow you to get into his computer and check the information where he's going to fix the bomb, right? So that is the reason there are some kind of rules and regulations were relaxed. In mid 2000, President Clinton signed the Electronic Signatures in Global and National Commerce Act, making the digital execution called e-signature a legally binding as their paper counterparts. So in mid 2000s, Clinton came up with the idea of electronic signatures, which should be considered as the legal signatures as if you consider the signatures on normal papers. In 2000, federal prosecutors in Chicago indicated 17 people who called themselves pirates with attitude for pirating thousands of software programs. The case was brought under NET Act. Some of the individuals were former employees of Intel and Microsoft. So in the year 2000, they found a set of people who called themselves as pirates with attitude, and their work is to get the information from the internet illegally, that means downloading or getting it and making it available for free everywhere on the internet, by which all these people were brought under the act of NET. What is the abbreviation of NET? No Electronic Theft Act. Surprisingly, the people who are hacking and infringing the information of the others were from Microsoft and also Intel. There are some people from these two companies as well. The Copyright Office has recommended that Congress amend Section 110 of the Copyright Act to grant educators to the right to transmit copyrighted works for distance learning if certain conditions are met. So Copyright Office also insisted that certain kind of books which has enough knowledge and which should be learned by the learners, young generation, if they are kept away from, if the knowledge is kept away from young generation on the name of the copyright, they might not be able to learn the knowledge forever. They might miss the knowledge. So these copyrighted works should be available for the young generation whenever they are studying, in order to enhance their skill sets. And these kind of books should be available for the people who are pursuing their education from the distance as well. This is a very supportive measure taken by the Copyright Office as they recommended the thing to the Congress of United States of America. So this is about new development in copyright law, and don't forget to subscribe for getting more updated videos, and thank you for watching.